Hello everyone, welcome you all to this new video. So in my previous video, I had started with module 4, that is the introduction to negative feedback amplifier circuits. In that we have seen what we mean by negative feedback, how the basic definition occurs, how the negative feedback is occurring in an amplifier circuit. Then after that we have seen with four different types of amplifier circuits based on the current and voltage amplifier and its relation. Okay, then we have seen the input impedance and output impedance condition, then gain condition, then how what is the conversion happening and what kind of amplifier it is. Okay, so those things we have discussed in the previous video. That is very important, guys. Those who have not watched it, please go and watch it. In this video we are going to be discussing with the amplifier circuits only some of the important parameters and the formulas. Okay, if you want to solve problems, you are requiring that formulas. Okay, so for that sake, guys, don't skip this video. Watch this video till the end. This notes I will be putting in the video's description also. If you want, you can access it and study it. Like this video, guys. Subscribe to our channel. So yeah, let's get started now with the initially the VCVS amplifier, that is the voltage gain of the VCVS amplifier. For that, we need to be knowing the VCVS amplifier circuit. So this is the VCVS amplifier circuit here. Initial setup. It is a voltage controlled voltage source, that is inputs at the input side voltage is provided and at the output side voltage is received. Okay. So since this is a negative feedback amplifier, so I should be telling one thing, that the feedback is fed from the inverting terminal, not from the non-inverting terminal. Okay. So you need to be keeping that in mind in the negative feedback. So based on the definition, from the inverting terminal, the feedback is given through it, and these are the resistances. One is this is the feedback resistance RF, and this is the input resistance R1. Okay. Initially, from the non-inverting terminal, the input is fed V1 and the output is given as V2 or V out. Okay. So this is the basic setup of a VCVS amplifier circuit. For this now, the exact closed loop voltage gain. So in the figure 19.3, that is the above figure, shows a non-inverting amplifier or a VCVS amplifier. The op amp has an open loop voltage gain of AVOL, typically which is in the ratio of, which is nearly of 100,000 or more. Okay, so this is the basic voltage gain which you have discussed in the previous module also for an op amp, right? So now because of the voltage divider, part of the output voltage is fed back to the inverting input. Okay, because of the voltage divider condition happening here, part of the output voltage, because here voltage would be getting divided, right? Some part of the voltage would be going here and some part of the voltage would be going here. So that's why, so part of the output voltage would be fed back to the inverting input. So the feedback fraction beta of any VCVS circuit is defined as the feedback voltage divided by the output voltage. So initially, first parameter in order to define the open loop voltage gain required is feedback fraction. Okay, so that's why the feedback fraction is given by beta is equal to V2 divided by V out. From this circuit, V2 divided by V out is the feedback fraction. Okay, so the feedback fraction for this is also called as the feedback attenuation factor, because it indicates how much the output voltage is attenuated before the feedback signal is reaching the inverting input. Okay, so that's why this is called as feedback attenuation factor. Okay, so with some algebra we can derive the following exact equation for the closed loop voltage gain, and this is the equation which is given for a closed loop voltage gain, that is closed loop voltage gain AV of CL is equal to AVOL, that is the open loop gain, divided by 1 plus AVOL into beta. Okay, so this is the equation which you need to be remembering for a closed loop voltage gain of a VCVS amplifier, that is voltage gain AV is equal to open loop voltage gain AVOL divided by 1 plus AVOL of the 1 plus AVOL into beta. Okay, where beta is equal to V2 divided by V out. So this is the exact equation for the closed loop voltage gain of any VCVS amplifier. Now, the ideal at the ideal state, what is the change in the closed loop voltage gain? You see here for a VCVS, the to work well, the loop gain is a AVOL into beta, right? But it should be much greater than the unity. But when the designer satisfies the condition, that is when this condition is greater than unity, that is it is more greater than one, then what happens here? Initially this is the equation AVOL divided by 1 plus AVOL into beta. Now here, since this it is greater than unity here, so this one would be getting neglected, so you would be left with AVOL divided by AVOL into beta, where AVOL gets cancelled and we are left with 1 by beta. Okay, so this is the ideal closed loop voltage gain, that is AV is equal to 1 by beta. Okay, so this is the exact voltage gain, initial closed loop voltage gain, but not in the ideal state. Okay, this is in the, this is the practical state voltage gain, and this is the ideal state voltage gain. Okay, so please remember, for a VCVS amplifier, these two equations, in case if they ask problems, you need to be solving it. Okay, so now, using ideal equation voltage gain for a non-inverting amplifier, what you get now, you see here, beta is equal to V2 by V out, that is R1 divided by R1 plus RF. So if you take the reciprocal, that is AV equal to 1 by beta. Beta is V2 by V out, right? So if you take the ideal equation, that is 1 by beta, that is R1 plus RF divided by R1. So here in this case, before taking the LCM, it would be RF by R1 plus 1. So this is the uh, ideal closed loop voltage gain after substituting the value of beta. Okay, yeah, so this is the initial voltage gain, closed loop voltage gain at the practical stage as well as the ideal state. Now let us go through the other equations of this amplifier itself, that is the VCVS amplifier. First is the gain stability. Gain stability, that is what you mean by that, you see here. The gain stability depends on having very low percent error between the ideal and the exact closed loop voltage gains. Okay, that is the two voltage gains you have got. One is the ideal voltage gain and the practical or the exact voltage gain. Okay, the gain stability is the percentage between these two. Okay, that is, the smaller the percent error, the better the stability. The worst case error of the closed loop voltage gain occurs when the open loop voltage gain is minimum. Okay, so as an equation, you could be simply defining the gain stability as percentage of maximum error, that is equal to 100% divided by 1 plus ABOL minimum, because the minimum open loop voltage gain into beta. Okay, through this the gain stability could be analyzed. So this is for gain stability. Now let us see the closed loop input impedance for this VCVS amplifier. So the figure 19.5a shows the non-inverting amplifier. Again, this is the VCVS amplifier only here with respect to the impedance they have drawn it here. Okay, so this is the non-linear distortion happening and the harmonics and fundamentals. Non-linear distortion means that we would be getting this curve here, a distorted curve, where it would be changing drastically based on the Q point generated, and this is the outputs and the input waves generated through the distorted signals. Okay, so this is not required for you guys. Just let us get to the expression of the closed loop input impedance, how it is defined. So here is the exact equation for the closed loop input impedance for a VCVS amplifier. Okay, input impedance in closed loop, it is defined as Zin of closed loop, that is equal to 1 plus AVOL, that is open loop voltage gain, into beta whole into Rn parallel to RCM. Okay, Rin is the open loop input resistance of the op amp, and RCM is the common mode input resistance. Okay, you need to be remembering these names here. One is called as open loop input resistance Rin, and RCM is called as common mode input resistance. Okay, so these things you need to be remembering with respect to that, and you could be simply defining the closed loop input impedance of a VCVS amplifier. Okay, in other words, often RCM is ignored because it is large. Okay, the value of the RCM would be initially large value, so that's why it could be ignored. So that's why this above equation would be approximated as Zin is equal to 1 plus AVOL into beta, 1 plus AVOL into beta whole into Rin. Okay, so this is the equation which you need to be remembering for a VCVS amplifier of a closed loop input impedance. Okay, so this is for input impedance. Now output impedance. What is output impedance defined as? Closed loop output impedance for a VCVS amplifier is given as Z out CL, that is R out divided by 1 plus AVOL into beta. Okay, here for input impedance, 1 plus AVOL beta is multiplied with input resistance, but for output impedance, 1 plus AVOL into beta is divided by the output resistance. Okay, so this relation you need to be remembering for a input as well as output impedance for a VCVS amplifier. Okay, so other things, these things are harmonic distortion and all. Yeah, let us see the harmonic distortion part. This is one more equation for the VCVS amplifier, how it is defined as. One is the non-linear harmonic distortion. So one more improvement worth mentioning is the effect of negative feedback on the distortion part. Okay, in the later stages of the amplifier, non-linear distortion will occur with the large signals because of the input-output response of the amplifying devices. Okay, this distortion is this curve here, that is based on the changes in the current and voltage value. You could be getting the different values of Q point, right, which would be providing the curve which won't be in the constant manner. It is a non-linear curve here, okay, which that curve would be producing the condition of a cube point variated. Based on that, the curve for the distorted curve also would be getting changed. It won't be remaining constant, so that's why it is called as a non-linear distortion curve. Okay, for instance, the non-linear graph of the base emitter diode distorts the last signal by elongating the positive half cycle and compressing the negative half cycle. It means that elongating the positive half cycle means that this would be high and negative half cycle would be low. Okay, initially it starts from equal positive and negative half cycle, then elongating the positive half cycle means positive half cycle would be high and negative half cycle amplitude would be low. Okay, like that it would be going on, and based on this curve here, it would be producing the non-linear distortion here. Okay, it produces harmonics of the input signal. For instance, if the sinusoidal voltage has the frequency of 1 kilohertz, the distorted output current will contain sinusoidal signals with frequency of 1 to 3 kilohertz, okay, and so forth, as shown in the spectrum diagram. That is this harmonic spectrum diagram. What happens is, the initially it would be high, but when it goes on, it would be low, getting low, and it would be turning to zero at somehow 10 to 20 kilohertz. Okay, yeah. So the fundamental frequency is 1 kilohertz, and all other frequencies which are generated are the harmonic frequencies. Okay, the RMS value of all the harmonics measured together tells us how distortion has occurred. This is why non-linear distortion is often called as harmonic distortion. Okay, so what is the total harmonic distortion defined as? Okay, so this equation is also very important. In case if they ask, you need to be knowing total harmonic distortion, THD, is defined as total harmonic voltage divided by the fundamental voltage into 100%. Okay, if you want to calculate in percentage, for instance, if the total harmonic voltage is 0.1 volt vrms and the fundamental voltage is 1 volt, then the THD, if you put it in formula, that is 10%. Okay, for a negative feedback, it reduces the harmonic distortion, and the exact equation for a closed loop harmonic distortion is given by THDCL. That is, THDCL is also called as closed loop harmonic distortion, and it is defined as THDOL divided by 1 plus ABOL into beta. Okay, so this is with respect to harmonic distortion, the equation. You please note it down. So these many equations are required to know for the voltage controlled voltage amplifier. Okay, please note it down. And problems also, they might be asking this based on these formulas. So please, these formulas whichever I've marked in boxes, right, all of them are very important with respect to the VCVS amplifiers. Okay, please note it down. And in the upcoming videos, we will be seeing with other equations related to other amplifier circuits, that is ICVS amplifier and other negative feedback amplifiers. Okay, yeah, so that's all for this video, guys. Thank you.